Hey tubes, David here with yet again another computer and studio update. So we'll go ahead and start over here on the left side. As you notice, the speakers look different. These are a pair of Mirage M260s that I picked up locally for about $80 to replace those crappy old worn out Sonys. These work a lot nicer and they have a much higher RMS, or basically continuous wattage, that they can run safely at. And if I'm not mistaken, these are rated about 80 watts continuous, which is perfect because the Onkyo down here can put out about 100 watts. So that leaves me with about 20 watts of headroom. It's not overly powerful, and it's just enough that I can drive the speakers, get a nice volume without blowing them up. So we'll go over here. This is an Optiplex 990 I've had for a few months, but it has mostly been sitting out in the living room running as my Linux box. But I ended up deciding to move all the server stuff down to the Optiplex 780, which also serves as my NAS. This 990 here has a Core i3-2120, 6 gigs of RAM, a 120 gigabyte solid state Kingston boot drive, and a 500 gig Western Digital for storage. It's currently running Windows 7. Yes, I know Windows 7 is out of support, but it's not that big a deal. I'm not going to be doing a lot of stuff that would risk it getting virus ridden, amongst other things. It basically just plays music, or I go on the web to check a couple quick things and stuff like that. So that's just hooked up to this crappy old eMachine's 20-inch, I think it's a 21.5 actually, 1920 by 1080 monitor, which I also will occasionally swap down to the 780 if I need to just get on that box locally instead of remoting in, which is usually what I do. And then, other than that, I had also picked up this Lenovo ThinkPad a couple months back. It is a T430 with a Core i5. I believe it's a 3220M. We'll have to go bring up. Yes, that's exactly what it is. 8 gigs of RAM, 256 gig solid state drive as the boot and storage drive. I may eventually swap out the optical drive for another drive caddy just to get more space, or even pick up a larger drive just so I can have a lot more space on this if I wanted to install a couple games or store some music or other files on it. Other than that, not a whole lot has really changed in here. I had mounted the compressor in the stand somewhat. These are just a couple pieces of board that I had cut up and put, I believe they're 3.5 inch or 4 inch screws, and they go all the way into this, and then these bolts are just holding it in here. I would like to get an actual rack eventually because it would work better, but this helps. The only thing is there's a lot of heat buildup in here, so I'm thinking eventually I might pull the Onkyo out of in here so it can cool off a little better. There's times I forgot this on at night and I'll walk in here the next morning to it being a sauna. But anyways, that's all for this quick little video. Just a couple little updates on some studio shenanigans.